On this Q&A, we've got questions about diversifying our clientele, how to leave a salon without burning bridges, and can we build a following while we're still in school? Ask away. It's F&F Q&A. That was good. I like that. That was solid. In the moment. I don't know why it's weird. Because I don't know what I want to say here in the upfront. I don't think I'm going to go into my spiel about negativity.
No.
Yeah, but I don't have anything else to share with people. The Cubs. Yeah, but I feel like I'm saying that every time.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe do a quote. No quote. Okay.
I think I'm just going to leave that. Let's just get into the questions.
Deanna wants to know, how do you expand your clientele with different people, like all kinds of cultures?
Deanna, this is a great question, and it's kind of a difficult one to answer, but here's my thoughts. First off, in order to build a diverse clientele, we need to be in an area of diversity, right? And so if we're in an area where generally the population is all the same, it's obviously going to be very hard to build a clientele because people tend to go to the areas that they live in, right? We have found that being in downtown Chicago, we are fortunate that we have people of many different races and cultures. And so it allows us to have a clientele that is truly an international clientele base, right? We've got people from all different backgrounds. And so that allows us to do different work and creatively not have to do the same thing all the time. What I feel most people experience though is people tend to go where they feel comfortable. And generally speaking, people recognize people for physical similarities, let's say, and they will choose stylists based off of that, right? So like if I were going to see a barber, I might want a barber that has a similar hair style to mine because I would assume that he knows how to do that. Color happens all the time too, where we'll have somebody say like, oh, she's blonde, I want her to do my highlights, because you assume that because she's blonde, she knows how to do good highlights. And so I think that a lot of times people go to their comfort zone. They go to where they are going to want to be comfortable. So if we want to build this diverse clientele, through our marketing and our storytelling and our branding, we have to be able to tell a great story that we are inclusive and that we want everybody to come and see us, right? And so if that means the video work or the photos that you put out represent the fact that you can do hairstyles of different races and cultures, then that should be what you're doing, right? Don't have all of your work look like it's the same person or the same ethnicity all doing the same styles, because then people are going to look at your stuff online and they're going to think, oh, I can't go there, she doesn't do people like me, or something along those lines. And so while it is a challenge, I do think it's possible if you're in the right place and you're telling the right story, that should then ultimately make people feel comfortable enough to come and see you.
Cyprian wants to know how to act or behave when you want to leave one place without burning any bridges or slamming doors behind you.
Cyprian, this is a great question, and I know that you've been a fan of the show for a long time, so I greatly appreciate you participating and being a part of it. It's such a tough situation when people leave because we become so personally invested in each other's growth. You know, like as an owner, I so want to see everybody on the team succeed that it becomes hard when you give the education, you give marketing, and you try and support people, and then they leave, right? And so there's always this sort of like, it's kind of like a breakup where like you just feel like you're crushed a little bit. And so I think that first and foremost, if people are on the fence about leaving, they should talk to management and the owners and say like, here are my feelings. This is where I'm at. This is what I would like to see more of. Because I don't think that it's fair to just abruptly go. I think that if you abruptly leave, you've already put the wrong foot forward, and people are going to feel slighted. They're going to feel, you know, like they've had the rug pulled out from underneath them. And so open and honest is always the way to go. Give them that chance to build or put into effect the systems that you are hoping to see so that you can have the change that you want to. If you still feel like things aren't coming around and that you still need to go, I would say then that do it on the best terms possible. Meaning when you leave, don't be malicious. Don't try and badmouth the salon after you've gone. Marketing for clientele, I think it's an open market. So you have the full right to try and reach out to the people that you were doing their hair in hopes that they would continue to follow you. I know that people get upset about that though. So you always just have to try and do it right. Be open, be honest. Don't be malicious about anything. And at the end of the day, what's that Gandhi quote? You want to be the change that you want to see in the world. Try and do it right. And if the former owners and employers aren't on the same page, then what are you going to be able to do? But at least you tried to do it right, and hopefully that karma will come back and help you.
Elena wants to know, while I'm in school, how do I build a clientele?
Elena, thank you for this question, and I think it's a really great one because I know that when we are in school, as when I was in school, we are all super excited to get our career started, and we're hungry, and we're passionate, and we want to get going. The reality of the situation is that most of the time, you're probably not going to be building much of a clientele while you're in school. There are probably some outliers, some people that are able to do it, but the vast majority of people, they don't build a clientele out of school. Reason is most guests that end up coming to schools, I think, are very budget minded, right? And so that's where they want to be. They want to go to a school where they can get a $5 haircut. I think when I was in school it was $12 or something like that. So they're very budget conscious. So once you then graduate and you go off to your salon, hopefully the price is going to jump. So you're going to be going from a $12 haircut to a $50 haircut, or even from a $12 haircut to a $20 or $25 haircut. It's kind of a jump for somebody that came to a school because they wanted that $12 haircut. So my personal opinion is be less focused on building a clientele while you're in school, be more focused on building the habits that it takes to build a clientele when you graduate. So instead of us making sure that we want everybody to come back and follow us, let's focus on what are we doing in order to get them to come back, right? And so that means, one, giving them an awesome salon experience or school experience so that they get the service that they want. Get into the habit of asking for referrals, whether that's giving out business cards or asking them to follow you on Instagram or something like that. But build that habit. Get into the habit of recommending products for them so that they can redo and restyle their hair properly while they're at home. And ultimately, the most important thing for us to do is to get the guest that's in our chair to come back. That's our number one responsibility. And so get into the habit, again, of telling them when to come back, whether that's 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever your recommendation is. But if you start to build those habits, you will see that when you get out of school, you're in a better position to be able to build a clientele. Because right now, in addition to building your talents while you're in school, you're also building habits. And time again, I see a lot of people that are in school thinking, well, when I graduate, I'll start doing all that stuff. Or even when I graduate, once I get into the salon, that's when I'm going to start coming on time. And I don't think that people change their habits based on their location. I think that you build your habits and those are your habits. So focus on building your good business building habits, whether you build the clientele or not, and then when you graduate, you'll be in a great position to be able to build faster than the people that were just going to wait until they were done. So this was F&F Q&A 26. I would greatly appreciate your questions for the next episode. And until then, I'm Benjamin J. You can follow me online. You can follow all of Form and Function stuff online as well. And we'll see you on Q&A 27. Thank you.